Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, and I'm back.
I'm so excited that
friends.
Tim's back.
I'm Tim Pham.
So seriously, Tim's been gone for over 3 weeks now. We just have to know where he's been.
I was on the other side of the globe. I was in Vietnam. We were just talking about travel. It took me about 19 hours to get there with the layover.
Gosh.
It was so worth it, though. It was an incredible trip. This was on top of a mountain, and it was the views were just incredible. I went from south to north, did the entire country.
Repping the Cougs the whole way.
Repping the Cougs the whole way, and met some incredible people, ate really great food, and tried to be a little adventurous on all fronts. So
awesome.
We'll talk about my trip a little bit later because I know you guys are family. I like to keep you guys in the loop, and we'll talk about it and your travels too.
Yeah, totally. I was in Iceland for just a bit, so.
All right, let's get on over to Thomas. Look at that rainy photo, Thomas. I experienced 2 typhoons, maybe remnants of a third.
But much warmer, right?
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
it was actually enjoyable to be out in the rain.
Nice.
Other people were like kind of dodging the rain. I was like, whatever, come on, it is what it is. You can't avoid it at that point.
Here in the Northwest, we don't need umbrellas. Maybe a different story out there. Wish you could have bottled up a little bit of that warmth and brought that home, Tim, because this is the coldest it's been so far this fall. We are now at 33 degrees, just a single degree above freezing and a single degree away from our first official freeze of the season. Clear skies at night will do that. It'll tend to drop temperatures. And now that we have nearly 13 hours of night versus 11 hours of day, we tend to get much colder at this point of the season. Now, the flip side of the coin is the sunshine. It'll be out in about an hour's time here, and we'll stay sunny all day long. Temperatures recovering back into the mid to upper 50s today to offset some of the colder and frostier morning temperatures.
Thank you, Thomas. Let's take a live look at traffic now. This is I-90 and Pines Road. Still quite dark, and we're really not seeing many cars on the road either. It's 6:02 now, and we're really not seeing traffic across our entire region. So if you're heading out the door right now, things are looking good. You won't encounter any issues in terms of a morning commute. Well, a judge could make the ruling on Justin Crenshaw's resentencing as soon as today. He's the man convicted of stabbing Sarah Clark and Tanner Pell back in 2008.
He's now facing resentencing for the double homicide under a 2021 change in state law. More than 20 family members and friends shared how the loss of Sarah and Tanner have left a hole in their lives, pleading with the judge to maintain the life sentence. Some of the most profound words came from a 9-year-old about how his Aunt Sarah, that he never got to meet, and it was read by his mother.
He was 20 years old and he knew what he was doing. I'm 9 and I know what I'm doing. Do not give him another chance if she did not get one. Respectfully, Finnegan Gant.
Testimony also revealed Crenshaw has had 18 serious infractions while in prison. He's also charged with killing a cellmate in a Virginia Supermax facility. Some of those infractions are for attacking other inmates with razor blades and being a part of prison gangs. A forensic psychiatrist who evaluated Crenshaw in 2010 says he has alcohol dependence and blackouts, as well as antisocial personality disorder. Crenshaw was 20 years old when he stabbed Clark and Pell to death, then set the house on fire to cover up his crimes. The resentencing hearing is scheduled to continue this morning at 9 a.m.
Well, deputies arrested a Cooley Dam elementary school teacher after they caught him in an underage sting operation. Yesterday, Kittitas County deputies arrested 42-year-old Ross Ashenfelter for communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. Ashenfelter is a 4th grade teacher at Lake Roosevelt Elementary School in Cooley Dam. Authorities say the arrest was part of a sting operation with the Washington Task Force and Kittitas County detectives.
Washington State Superintendent of Public Instruction released a statement after last week's federal layoffs at the U.S. Department of Education. Chris Reckdahl saying in part, "We will not waver in our commitment to students with disabilities or those who are native, migratory, or experiencing homelessness." He urges Congress to restore the federal government's capability to administer these important programs so all states and local systems can fulfill their obligations and protect the rights of students and families. This comes as the Department of Education has laid off nearly all of its special education staff. According to sources, the cuts were mainly within the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, a program that serves millions of people nationwide. A letter to staff noted the ongoing government shutdown made a reduction in workforce unavoidable. As of Friday, more than 450 people have been laid off.
Well, across the country, education budgets are getting cut and enrollment in higher education is down. But here in Idaho, our universities are actually growing. That's what the presidents and CEOs of 3 North Idaho schools said. NIC, Lewis Clark State College, and University of Idaho Coeur d'Alene are all doing very well right now. Andrew Fields, the CEO of the University of Idaho Coeur d'Alene, says they're using new learning techniques and offering unique programs to keep enrollment up. It's things like their 2+2 partnership program and using AI technologies. Here in Washington, Microsoft started a multi-billion-dollar program to get AI tools into every school district in Washington state. They're calling the program Microsoft Elevate Washington. It's a new plan where every high school and community college student in Washington will get free access to AI-powered learning tools like Microsoft Copilot and Teams. The goal of the program is to help students and educators get ahead of the constant changes in tech.
Well, I think for every high school student in the state, for every community college student in the state, and for their parents, this is going to mean that our state is absolutely at the forefront in equipping people with AI skills and tools so you know how to use AI when it's time to go look for a job.
New data shows a divide in how AI is being used across the state. Microsoft's AI for Good Lab found that in counties near the Puget Sound, more than a third of people are already using AI. But in some eastern Washington counties, especially in more rural areas, usage drops to below 10%.
Well, this morning marks the first official dip into freezing temperatures for much of our region.
With that in mind, though, KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live with winterizing tips because we're already there. Brandon, what should be on our list before winter this year?
Good morning, Tim, Nicole. Well, I'm thinking I can feel every bit of those winter and freezing type temperatures this morning. Pretty chilly out here, but yeah, now is the time to start thinking about how you can prepare your homes, your yards, your cars, things of that nature. So we've got a list of just different items to help you get winterized ahead of those real, of course, winter temperatures, because we know we're not quite there just yet, but I want to go ahead and list off a few of those right now. Of course, the leaves have already started to fall, so we'll start first with some yard maintenance. Now's the time to start raking when you can. So think of the grass, the sidewalks, drains, anything you can get on top of now. It'll make it feel like less of a major project by the time the trees are fully bare. Also, try to trim any dead branches near your home or power lines that might hit a problem come winter, and protect plants that might be a bit more delicate. You can use mulch or a burlap type of wrap. It's also a good time to go ahead and check on your water systems, especially those outdoor ones. You can start with a disconnect and a drain of all your outdoor hoses. And then once you have them all disconnected, make sure they are shut off using interior shut-off valves if your house has those. And if you have a sprinkler system, get those blown out or have them professionally serviced. So again, these are just a few of those tips right there, and we'll have some more for you throughout the entire morning. Live in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Well, you have to see this, a scary sight out of western Washington. An isolated storm cell sent strong straight-line winds crashing through a home. The owners say the winds hit quick and sounded like a freight train, lasting no more than 10 to 12 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, so this happened out in Longview. The winds took off a roof like you saw there in that video and left insulation hanging out. It caused around $200,000 in damage. Luckily, nobody was hurt, and the owners are just grateful that the neighbors and friends helped them clean everything up quickly.
For context, the National Weather Service tends to do storm surveys to determine if it were straight line winds or tornado winds. Funny enough, Washington is one of 7 states that has not seen a tornado this year in 2025. So it'll be interesting to see the results of that survey. Back here at home, a cold morning, as you heard Brandon say. One of our colder spots is Moses Lake right now at 31 degrees. That's also a spot that is currently under a frost advisory. Not anywhere else in the inland Northwest, not necessarily because it's any less cold, but it's just not the growing season anymore. We're well past the average first freeze date in Spokane, so it doesn't feel feel necessary to have frost advisories, as we really should be this cold most every morning from here on out. The sunshine today, though, will warm us up nicely, up to 57 in Spokane and 56 in Coeur d'Alene.